Ladies and gentlemen, today's lecture is types of computers. And if you look at the contents, we're going to talk about supercomputer, server computer, workstations, personal PCs, and microcontrollers. We will be giving you a little bit more information for you about this chapter. And let me introduce you the supercomputer. And the supercomputers are the fastest and the most expensive computers you can ever see. As you see on the picture, there are Columbia supercomputers working in the NASA. These huge computers are used to solve very complex science and engineering problems. Supercomputers get their processing power by taking advantage of parallel processing. They use lots of CPUs at the same time on one problem. A typical supercomputer can do 1 to 10 trillion individual calculations every seconds. We can do. And some of the supercomputers, key computers, and the other one is, as you see on the screen, Columbia computers, and the other one is Jaguar, we can call all in the world. And server computers. Servers are step under supercomputers because they don't focus on trying to solve one very complex problem, but try to solve many similar smaller ones. An example of a server would be the computers that Wikipedia stores its encyclopedia on. Those computers have to go and find the page you are looking for and send it to you. In itself, it's not a big task, but it becomes a job for a server when the computers have to go and find lots of pages for a lot of people and send them to the right place. Some servers, like the ones Google uses for something like Google Documents, and have application on them instead of just files like Wikipedia. A server is a central computer that contains collections of data and programs, also called a network server. This system allows all connected users to share and store electronic data and applications. Two important types of servers are file servers and application servers. Workstations. Well, you see on the screen one of the very important computers and Sun Spark stations very old time, and that we're gonna talk about the very good details about Sun Spark stations. Workstations are high-end, expensive computers that are made for more complex procedures and are intended to one user at a time. Some of the complex procedures consist of science, math, and engineering calculations and are useful for computer design and manufacturing. Workstations are sometimes improperly named for marketing reasons. Real workstations are not usually sold in retail. Thus, but this is starting to change. Like Apple's Mac Pro would be considered a workstation. And the movie Toy Story was made on set of Sun Spark workstation, as you see on the screen. One probably the most well-known computers are computer types are personal computers, which we call PCs. PC is abbreviation for personal computers you can see on the screen. It is also known as microcomputers. Its physically characteristics and low cost are appealing and useful for its users. The capabilities of a personal computer have changed greatly since the introduction of electronic computers. By the early 1970s, people in academic or research institutions had the opportunity for single-person use of computer system in interactive mode for extended durations, although these systems would still have been too expensive to be owned by a single individual. The introduction of the microprocessor, a single chip with all the circuitry the formerly occupied large cabinets, led to the proliferation of personal computers after about 1975. Early personal computers, generally called microcomputers, sold often in kit about form and limited volumes and were of interest mostly the hobbyists and technicians. By the late 70s, mass market pre-assembled computers allowed a wider range of people to use computers, focusing more on software application and less on development to the processor hardware. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, home computers were developed for household use, offering some personal productivity, programming, and games, while somewhat larger and more expensive system, although still low cost compared with many computers and mainframes, were aimed for office and small business use. Today, as everybody knows, a personal computer is an all-around device that can be used as a productivity tool, a media server, and a gaming machine. The modular construction of the personal computer allows components to be easily swapped off when broken or upgrading. Well, the last type of the computers we can talk microcontroller, and microcontrollers are mini computers that enable the user to store and data and execute simple commands and tasks. These simply circuit devices have minimally memory and program length, but are normally designed to be very good at performing a nice niche task. Many such systems are known as embedded system. The computer is in your car, for example, is an embedded system. A common microcontroller that one might come across is called Arduino, as you see on the projection screen. Actually, actually, our management information systems departments has a one small section called it information technology, and we are using the microcontrollers, say that mini computers, and we put some extra tasks, and we gonna use this computer. We are doing research and development system to use this kind of computers any of the other interesting places, and hopefully in a year you will see these microcontrollers can be used all over the campuses.